All right, I'm going to do some comparisons between $20,000 to take out for a loan, $20,000 to take out for a mortgage, or to pay the down payment for a house, small down payment, and in the closing costs for that. Taking out a loan of $20,000 for a car loan, and $20,000 for the S&P 500, $20,000 for a credit card loan, and I took some numbers off of Google search. Now, this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Just wanted to say my quick disclaimer. These are just ideas. I highly recommend, instead of watching people that may not have your financial best interest at heart, to get a fiduciary if you really do want to put your capital basically invested in something that you can really thoroughly believe in and someone's got your best interest at heart. It's probably good to look for a fiduciary. Anyways, again, these are just ideas, and these are things that I looked up, and there's no direct comparison here. So that's another thing that I've got to add. There's no direct comparison here, and I just kind of plugged in some numbers. Of course, sales tax I just left at 0 here. You can choose a different state. Title registration and other fees, 0. Basically, this is just for ideas. Kind of the overall purpose is to show differences in how you can spend $20,000 and what the yield is, or what the yield could be. Okay, so let me go ahead and start getting into a little bit of the weeds here, or a little bit in depth in things. Again, this is basically just to conceptualize these things best, and some of these numbers and everything could be off. Maybe you can't get an auto loan with a 120-month loan term. Maybe you have to get 60 months. It could all be way different than the numbers that I've thrown up here, and it most likely will be. And interest rates could be lower on cars, newer cars versus older cars, and what have you. So again, this is just to conceptualize. Auto price, $25,000, loan term 120 months, interest rate 6.5%, down payment $5,000. So at the end of that 10-year period, essentially of paying a car loan, and your car loan's $225 a month, pretty much, $227. In my opinion, that's actually not that bad. But again, it's not, we're not talking about sales tax and all the other fees, but I didn't want to get too much in the weeds, so I didn't put those numbers in. So 10 years of paying $227 a month. At the end, basically you'd be paying $32,000, and you would have a car that would have basically 10 years of wear and tear on it. Or if you just bought a car and didn't use it, more power to you. You got a car that's paid off, and this is the potential price. But for most of us, I'd say, you're probably going to put some wear and tear on that car, and it's going to cost, for maintenance, it's going to cost you on taxes, insurance, gas, and what have you. So that'll be, of course, more that you would have to spend on that. Okay, so let's go to, say, putting your money in the S&P 500 and getting an average return of 8% over a 15-year period, and your additional contribution was $225 a month. Now, this return rate could and probably will be different. I just used numbers from the past and just a quick Google search. So starting amount, $20,000 after 15 years of just contributing $225, which, that's not too much. In balance, $140,000 basically, and total interest that you get back in your pocket essentially is $80,000. That compared to getting a car and having to pay $32,000 plus the maintenance and all that good stuff, that's a pretty good deal. If we're talking exclusively about investments. Now, do we need a car? That's debatable, need versus want. And especially in a society where a lot of people are expected to have cars, it's more in the more under the needs category than want category. Even though I guess you could pull off having no car if you really wanted to. Okay, so there's those two things. So this is the putting the money into the S&P 500. Now, would you be paying capital gains on that interest accrued or the capital gains that you'd get? Most likely. So there's another factor, but that shouldn't matter much. Okay, so let's go to a house. Now this is kind of, this math right here is exclusively for, say you bought a home, you put your down payment and your closing costs on a house that original value was $200,000. That's kind of what I did here, and it appreciated at 4% on average per year. And that was a quick Google search. Appreciation rates are different area to area. Maybe you nail it and you get a 10% appreciation rate over 15 years, and more power to you. I think that would be so cool. But anyways, I just took the average in the United States. Maybe you get 2% or something. I don't know. It could be different. But I just took the average. So at the end of 15 years, basically, that's what this calculation is saying. Original home amount, 4% on average. And for 15 years, it's saying that home should be worth $360,000. So you put down that money, and then at the end of 15 years, then you could be looking at that much. Now, this is apples to oranges, and I would argue that most people need a home, unless you have, you crushed it and you were able to buy a home with cash, or you're still living with family or whatever. But anyways, I just wanted to kind of go into what you could be looking at if you put $20,000 towards a home. Now, it's apples to oranges between these other comparisons because of the payments. That one, probably the hardest one, and plus you're taking out money instead of putting money into something. And a couple of these examples, if that makes any sense. You're taking out money to pay for a car. You're taking out money to get a loan, basically. What you're doing with that money, who knows? Maybe you're getting crazy returns. Okay, so let's do the last example that I've got. So loan amount, $20,000, loan term, 10 years, and you took out a credit card that had a interest rate of 18%, which is through Google search. I found that the average interest rate on credit cards was 18%. Now, Dave Ramsey basically talks about how you can keep the snakes at bay, basically. And I think that analogy is so amazing. You get a credit card and you can be responsible with it, but it's essentially like having snakes in a bucket, and you have to have those. You have to basically keep those snakes tame. And that's kind of what you can look at a credit card like. You could use it responsibly, but it could bite you with that big interest rate. Now, who knows if you could actually take out a 10-year. Honestly, I don't know how all this stuff works with the credit, but to conceptualize, I just put 18% and 10 years to pay back, essentially, for a loan of $20,000, as you see there. So monthly payment, $360, and total interest paid, $23,000. So total of the 120 payments, you're paying what it says here is $43,000. So you're paying more for interest, $23,000, than you're paying in principal. So, yeah, that's basically a comparison of different ways, I guess, you can spend $20,000. One gives you a roof over your head and can potentially land you in something that's worth, a bunch of money in the future. One could get you, a credit card. You can start a business or something maybe. But just know what you're kind of getting yourself into, and that 18%, when you're talking about annual compounding interest, is what's that Einstein quote? Those who understand compounding interest. I can't quote it. Shouldn't even try. But anyways, compounding interest is good to understand. That's basically a quote that he basically wanted people to know. Okay, so I guess the idea behind this video is this is how much you would pay, essentially, if you took out that loan, or could potentially be $43,000. This is how much potentially the home could be worth. Remember, you would have to be making more mortgage payments, and you'd have maintenance fees and stuff like that from owning a home. So, that's not nothing. It's just one of those things that, kind of weigh the pros and cons. Here is putting money into the S&P 500. Now, I guess you could, instead of throwing it to the S&P 500, you could buy a house to have a roof over your head, or you could do something like this. And would you be paying capital gains taxes or whatever? Long-term capital gains, short-term capital gains, you have those things to think about. But in my opinion, this is a little bit better than having to spend $43,000. And again, it's apples to oranges, because this is actually, you having that money. So, got to understand there. And then the auto loan, $32,000 basically towards, at the end of 10 years or so, you could have put, hundreds of thousands of miles on that car, and how much is that car worth after 10 years? Could be worth, I don't know. You tell me. Could be worth $7,000. Could be worth $5,000. Could be have a shot out engine. A lot of things. So just a couple of things to think about. And these aren't apples to apples comparison. But I guess the whole idea and the reason why I do this is to kind of establish the concept. And you would want to actually talk to a lender, or you would want to talk to, I guess, somebody like a fiduciary or something, if you really wanted to get into the nuts and bolts of everything more in detail, if you wanted to cloud your brain with all this stuff. But anyways, hope you have a great week. It is Monday, the 21st of November, and again, hope you have a great week. Hope this helps you with some ideas, basically, based on finances and tried to put a number that I think, most people could reasonably kind of save up to, or most people may reasonably take out for a loan. So anyways, take care. Hope you have a great week. Bye-bye.